Okay, so today I will be reading some more random Wikipedia articles I got here again by clicking this link. Random article just takes me to some random stuff, and today it took me to the article for James Phillip Connor. James Phillip Connor lived from the 12th of January 1919 to July 27th, 1994. Good long life. He was a sergeant in the U.S. Army who received the Medal of Honor after leading a platoon of 36 men attached to the 7th Infantry Regiment, 3rd Infantry Division, against German positions defended by snipers and machine gun nests at Cape Cavalaire, France. Let's see where that is. In southern France. I didn't know. Okay. Didn't know World War II happened down there. To be fair, I haven't really studied World War II. I don't know too much about it, other than the basics anyway. But yeah, Cape Cavalaire, which again is down here. Yeah, near Provence, something like that. On August 15th, 1944. So he was 25 years old. Damn. Nice. Seriously wounded in the course of the assault, the third suffered while on active duty. He continued to fight anyway alongside his men until his injuries forced him to stand down, although he continued to direct the assault. Although losing one-third of his platoon, Connor's men were successfully able to outflank the enemy, killing 7 German soldiers and capturing 40 more, as well as taking a considerable amount of supplies, including 3 machine guns. That's actually very impressive. Sounds deserving of the Medal of Honor, which, if you did not know, is the highest and most prestigious military decoration, or personal military decoration that can be awarded to recognize U.S. military service members who have distinguished themselves by acts of valor. So he joined the army from his birth city in Wilmington, Delaware, which is the biggest city in Delaware. It was founded by the Swedes, evidently, yeah. Fort Christina, first Swedish settlement in North America. Basically, it's just Delaware County, Maryland. Delaware doesn't count as a state. We all know that. I'm just kidding. I've been there. I can tell you it isn't 100%. It is a state. He was discharged from the army in 1945 and went on to probably do some other cool stuff in his life. So, yeah, he was born on January 12th, 1919, Wilmington, Delaware. Already established that. Died at that date, already established. At age 75, his allegiance was to the USA in the U.S. Army. He was a sergeant, did that stuff. World War II, Medal of Honor, cool. All right. I'm gonna have to read a lot. A big long thing. Oh god. Rank and organization, sergeant, U.S. Army. I already read that. God. Oh, yeah, I already read that. Okay, well, the citation is, for conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at risk of life above and beyond the call of duty. On 15th of August, 1944, Sergeant Connor, through sheer grit and determination, led his platoon in clearing an enemy vastly superior in numbers and firepower from strongly entrenched positions on Cape Cavalaire, removing a grave enemy threat. Removing a grave enemy threat to his division during the amphibious landing in southern France, and thereby ensured safe and uninterrupted landings for the huge volume of men and materiel, which followed. His battle patrol landed on Red Beach. Okay, don't know where that is. Somewhere near Cape Cavalaire. With the mission of destroying the strongly fortified enemy positions on Cape Cavalaire with utmost speed. From the peninsula, the enemy had commanding observation and seriously menaced the vast landing operations taking place. Though knocked down and seriously wounded in the neck by a hanging mine, which killed his platoon lieutenant, Sergeant Connor refused medical aid and, with his driving spirit, practically carried the platoon across several thousand yards of mine-saturated beach through intense fire from mortars, 20mm flak guns, machine guns, and snipers. En route to the Cape, he personally shot and killed 2 snipers. The platoon sergeant was killed, and Sergeant Connor became platoon leader, receiving a second wound which lacerated his shoulder and back. Ow, that sounds very painful. He again refused evacuation, expressing determination to carry on until physically unable to continue. He reassured and prodded the hesitating men of his decimated platoon forward through almost impregnable mortar concentrations. Again emphasizing the prevalent urgency of their mission, he impelled his men towards a group of buildings honeycombed with enemy snipers and machine guns. Good word. That's a good word. Honeycombed. Here he received his third grave wound, this time in the leg, felling him in his tracks. Still resolved to carry on, he relinquished command only after his attempts proved that it was physically impossible to stand. Nevertheless, from his prone position, he gave the orders and directed his men in assaulting the enemy. Infused with Sergeant Connor's dogged determination, the platoon, though reduced to less than one-third of its original 36 men, outflanked and rushed the enemy with such furiousness that they killed 7, captured 40, seized 3 machine guns, and considerable other matériel. Why are they spelling it in French? That is bizarre. And took all of their assigned objectives, successfully completing their mission. By his repeated examples of tenaciousness and indomitable spirit, Sergeant Connor transmitted his heroism to his men until they became a fighting team which could not be stopped. That's some badass stuff, because they're saying a third of its original 36 men, so what is that, 12 people less than, so let's say 11 or something. Killed 7, captured 40, and seized 3 machine guns. Wow. Enough respect to the men for that. Alright. Well, I'm glad I could teach you about James Phillip Connor and his heroism at Cape Cavalaire in France. Maybe if you're in Cape Cavalaire in France, go visit Red Beach. I don't even know if they still call it that. La Plage Rouge, something like that. Anyway, au revoir tout le monde.